Thank you all so much for joining us today for our BSN to MSN information session at PLU. Um, I'm Alex Chacon, your graduate admission counselor. Basically, I might have been in contact with some of you already to kind of answer any questions about the program, whether that's through like email, text, or phone. And I'll be here kind of in the background of the session. Helping out with some questions, dropping in some helpful links. But essentially, the star of our show today is going to be Rainey. So I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rainey Bannock Wood. I am the chair for the MSN program. So welcome. Thank you for coming today. I have just some slides to kind of get some introduction pieces out of the way. And then if we do have time, we can always open up for additional questions. But thank you for coming again. And let me just see if I can load my slides appropriately. So again, hi, I'm Rainey Bannock Wood. I am the MSN program lead, and I'm very happy that you guys have come to learn more about the MSN program at Pacific Lutheran University School of Nursing. Our mission is to equip you with the knowledge and leadership skills necessary to drive systematic change and elevate care for diverse populations in the complex healthcare environment that we are experiencing today. So we have several different programs that PLU offers. As you can see, we have both the BSN program and a variety of different ways that those can be obtained. And then we also have the Masters of Science program. And today, from what I understand, all of you are here to learn about the BSN to MSN program. So we'll focus mostly on that. But I just want to also put out there that we do have DNP programs that are available for as a nurse practitioner program, as well as some MSN to DNP programs as well. So let's get started. So our MSN curriculum consists of 36 credits, 25 core credits, and 12 track-specific credits, and 500 clinical hours. It is a full-time program that spans the fall, J-term, spring, and summer terms. And in this program, we have two different specialties available. We have the clinical nurse leader, or the CNL program. In this program, you'll focus on the coordination and evaluation of evidence-based care for diverse patient groups. And you can function as a core care coordinator, quality improvement specialist, and a systems level thinker at the point of care. The benefit of having the CNL on a team is their ability to bridge the gap between bedside care and broader healthcare systems. They use evidence-based practices to improve patient outcomes, reduce errors, enhance communication across disciplines, and ensure care is efficient, cost-effective, and centered on patients. CNLs are particularly effective in identifying patterns in patient care, leading quality improvement initiatives, and fostering safer, more cohesive clinical environments. The other program specialty that we have is the CNE, this Certified Nurse Educator. In this program, you'll be prepared to work with both academic and clinical settings, such as universities or hospitals. Because of the workload, we do recommend that RNs work no more than the zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.6 FTE. We do try to focus our classes into one weekday evening and one full weekday to provide some predictability to your work schedule, and also still encourage you to keep working if that is what your goal is. One of our biggest strengths at PLU is that we guarantee all clinical placements, and you won't have to worry about finding your own preceptor. We also utilize a supportive cohort model with small class sizes to ensure that you're getting that personalized learning experience. So when we talk about program pieces, starting in the fall and then graduating by the end of the summer, it's a pretty quick turnaround time for MSN programs, and gets you back to working that full-time shift if you are interested in that. Great. Right. So our MSN grads end up with a variety of careers, from director of care at a local qualified health center to nursing professional development specialists to educators. Students regularly reach out, sharing their successes, including continuing to further their education. So sometimes we see them come back for their DNP or want to explore the FNP or Psych NP route. If you are an alum, we love that you're back and hearing more about us. If not, we're also very excited to share more about the PLU process and the programs that we do offer. We have great retention with consistently above 90%. And then we have great, for those students that are seeking the accreditation for the CNE or the CNL, we have great outcomes on that certification as well. So our faculty, we have nearly 50 faculty members, and we keep expanding on great additional faculty. They have advanced degrees from pediatrics to oncology to geriatric care. We have different teaching expertise in nursing education, nursing theory, writing courses, down to clinical practice. I myself, what I did the CNO route as a master's prepared nurse, and then went on and got my DNP and now work as an FNP, as well as teach full time. So that's just one example of the variety of faculty that you'll encounter here at PLU. Um, as that, we have advisors that you are assigned to from the beginning of your program, and they help navigate through that MSN program, and then also help you support you as you start your career or are looking for additional career opportunities. Looking at admissions criteria, our faculty evaluate more than just your grades. We look at your personal statement, professional history, and the strength of your recommendations to ensure that you're meeting a good fit for our program and our service-oriented mission. So some minimum requirements, we have a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree from nationally accredited institutions with a minimum of a 3.0 cumulative GPA, current unencumbered Washington State RN license or the multi-state license from your home state through the compact agreement that Washington offers. And for PLU, we will verify licensure through the Department of Health in Washington, and we do not make a copy of your RN license for that. We also require that you have a completion of the college level statistics, both descriptive and inferential course that will support you through the program, as well as direct care or RN experience associated with that. So we are looking at the strength of your recommendations from 2 to 3 qualified individuals. When we're looking at recommendations, we prefer some to come from your employer or a faculty member because it gives us a good idea of what your clinical experience is and your academic history. The recommenders must complete a form, and then they also have the option to write a letter in support as well as that form. Up to 3 recommendations are allowed, and 2 are required for the application to be submitted. For the essay, we're looking at your provide a statement of educational and professional goals that is 2 pages and double spaced. And then additional statements, we do accept information about what happened with grades or previous course repeats, or maybe something that kind of guides us through that pathway to nursing that you've gone through to get here. We also look at a resume that includes some professional or volunteer experiences, any trainings or certifications that you've already earned, just to get a full picture of not only your academic history, but you as a nurse and what you can offer to that MSN program. So we are still accepting applications for the MSN program for this year. The application deadline is approaching pretty quickly, so that is August 1st for this coming year. And we are monitoring our inboxes as well as we hope that you would be monitoring your inbox as you're applying because we do send a lot of information through email. The start date for the upcoming year is September 8th. So right after Labor Day, we get started. And then if you are looking for next year's application, we typically open those in early on, and our early action date is in February. So depending on what your goals are for the next year, depends on which application cycle we're looking for. All right. So if we don't receive your application information by the deadline, we are not able to look at your application fully. So make sure that you're completing your prerequisite courses before the start of the program, contacting any references early on, and then getting access to that application as soon as possible. Okay. If you have any questions as you're filling out application content, you can reach out to gradadmissions@plu.edu, and then they will either direct those questions to us or be able to answer those promptly for you. All right, so that was really quick, the down and dirty. I would love to share answer any questions that you have, or if you have any concerns or need any support, please don't hesitate to ask now, or you can always reach back out to gradadmissions@plu.edu. And then I think Alex has a little bit of additional information to provide you on some of these resources. So I will let her share.
Thank you. So I put in a few links in the chat throughout the presentation. I think kind of the 2 most helpful ones that you might find helpful are our admission application requirements page and our program cost page. The admission application requirements page kind of just reiterates all the materials you'll need for the application, kind of step by step, like transcripts, resume, recommendations, all that information is listed there, as well as the link to start your application. whole information is there as well as the application deadline. So definitely a really helpful place to just kind of go back if you need some additional help with completing the application. Obviously, you can always reach out to the graduate admission inbox email. We're always happy to help with any questions. And then that second link that I put in was for the program cost. I find it super helpful. Specifically, just me, I'm a very like visual person. And so we do have just the cost listed there as well as a cost sheet, which has a full specific cost breakdown by term. So for students beginning fall 2026, that tuition would be 41,760. And that is the cost for the entire program. And so it's nice that essentially it's locked in from the time that you enter into the program. And so if you do take a look at that cost sheet, it shows you specifically all of your courses laid out throughout the entire program, the cost per credit, number of credits per term you're taking, and then fully what each semester should cost. So you have a really good idea of what you should expect to pay in the program. And we also list any additional fees there because we definitely want to have all that information kind of upfront and just be super transparent about that so you can help, plan out things that whether that's like work hours or anything else. That program cost page also at the because if you keep scrolling down, it also does have more financial aid opportunities. So that'll include scholarships, whether that's PLU scholarships or any external scholarships, as well as other federal financial aid opportunities. At the PLU kind of just scholarship level, all students are eligible for a scholarship automatically upon admission. And then kind of depending on what category you'd fall into, that might determine what scholarship you're eligible for. And so for any PLU alum, we do have our PLU Alumni Scholarship, which does award a one-time amount of up to $5,000 in the first semester. And then for any other student, we typically will have our graduate academic scholarships, which awards a one-time amount of up to $4,000 in the first semester. We also do list other external scholarships. So I think there's like a Washington State scholarship, State Opportunity Scholarship, and there's also an additional health professional scholarship program one. Um, so these are coming from outside of PLU. And so we have links to those websites there that you can absolutely go check out. Federal financial aid is an option at the graduate level. It's usually in the form of loans. And so that is an option. Students would be eligible to receive approximately, yeah, as a full-time student, which would be 8 credits, you'd be able to borrow 10,250 per semester. So that can definitely be really helpful if you're kind of comparing that program cost sheet and kind of going back and forth to really see, does financial aid kind of cover everything? If there's anything else extra you would need to pay. And we also do have the option with our Student Financial Services office for different payment options. So you can also split that up into monthly payments for each semester. So that also does kind of help out with breaking up the cost of the program even further. Yeah, that's usually kind of what I discuss with students. And then if you do have any other questions about the program, the application, definitely don't hesitate to reach out or put it in the chat. The chat or Q&A is fine as well. But yeah, that's normally what I kind of go over.
Yeah, and like I said, we're very open to questions. So if you want to email gradadmissions@plu.edu, we always are very responsive and get back to you pretty promptly with all the information we have. Um, I will say something about clinical placements is we have a variety of situations right now. So a lot of students are in a hospital setting. Some of them are in community settings, both for the CNE and for the CNL. And so there's a lot of exciting opportunities. And if there's a specific area that you're very interested in, we usually have something to match, or we seek out opportunities that can help support your goals as well. So thank you.
But definitely if any other questions come up like afterwards, I know sometimes I like had a question, forgot it, and then immediately after remember it. If that's the case, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Either myself or Rainey are always happy to help answer any questions. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope it was helpful. And we definitely look forward to either connecting with you or seeing an application come in. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.